We do want to bring in now Christopher Plain, author and senior writer of The Debrief. The Debrief worked with NewsNation to exclusively break David Grush's story. Christopher, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
So just last night, we heard a former Pentagon official saying that he believes David Grush will reveal more information, aside from already the bombshell allegations that the U.S. has retrieved alien technology in that NewsNation exclusive. What are you hoping comes out of the hearing tomorrow?
So I think most people are hoping for specifics. And I know we heard Mellon say we probably wouldn't get specific names of people, but there's been a lot of implication of potential private industry having possession of some of this material and working outside of the oversight of Congress. So I think in an ideal scenario, at least some of that would be clarified. There would be some new evidence for journalists to follow up on and look deeper into this story.
I know you've spent years writing about breakthrough science and tech. That former Navy pilot, David Fravor, claims that the UFO he observed looked like a giant tic-tac and that it moved around like a ping pong. Now, skeptics say things like this could easily be secret technology tested by another nation, another country, even weather phenomena. What do you say to that?
So I don't think that's completely off the table, but I would say it's not easily an answer for the main reason that when you see large technology breakthroughs, and I cover a lot of exotic and advanced propulsion done by NASA and other organizations, usually see incremental progress. So you would normally see energy progress to fly something like the Tic Tac. You might see materials progress, as well as the propulsion technology themselves. So it's not completely off the table. I know there are people in the exotic propulsion community who feel that is more likely the answer than something non-human. But the track record doesn't point to that. And physicists I've spoke to at length about this have told me they are confident that there's just not the engineering steps between where we are now technologically and what Commander Fravor reported.
You know, we are covering the hearing, of course, live on NewsNation tomorrow, and we just heard Kelly Myers speaking about the great deal of interest here, the watch parties, the people who will be lining up early to try to go in person. Why is tomorrow also a big day for those who are interested in government transparency?
I think that goes to the key of the whistleblower David Grush's testimony, is not so much the more sensational aspects of the allegation, although that's what people are very curious about. But it really goes to this notion that Congress and the way the government is constructed as representatives of the people specifically have oversight over the way money is spent, specifically with the military and with large contractors they work with. And I think that's why you're seeing so much attention to this from mainstream news now, finally, is that this goes to the heart of how our democracy is supposed to work and who's supposed to approve what spending where. And I think that's really a critical issue that people are looking for tomorrow.
Okay. Christopher Plain, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being here.
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.